Welcome back. It's been 80 years since Benny Goodman's band played in a historic concert at New York's Carnegie Hall. Last night, trumpeter Wynton Marsalis led his band in tribute to that famous moment. I spoke to him about Bach, Benny Goodman, and race in America. The year is 1938. Legendary jazz musician Benny Goodman takes to the stage of New York City's Carnegie Hall, a night that would later be dubbed the single most important jazz or popular music concert in history. Not only was it a groundbreaking public debut for jazz as a genre, but also a triumph of racial integration. Black and white musicians playing together on a stage of unparalleled prestige for the first time. "80 years on, Goodman's landmark performance has been reprised at the Barbican with a modern legend of jazz, Wynton Marsalis.
I had a disrespectful thought about Benny Goodman because I'm coming from 1970s black nationalism. We got our afros, Malcolm X, Black Power. It's Benny Goodman, the white king of swing, you know. So I was talking to Milt Hinton, and Milt Hinton is a fantastic bassist we call the Judge. And I said, yeah, man, Benny Goodman, all this. And he said, do you know what Benny Goodman went through to make it possible for us to have a greater degree of integration in our country? Of course, I didn't really know.
Why? Why recreate it? What does it mean to you?
Well, this concert is very important because it was a statement against segregation and against racism. It consolidated the position of jazz culturally. It presented the history of jazz, the history of segregation and racism that we have in the West in general. It continues, and Benny Goodman is a very important figure because he risked his life to challenge that social convention. And we all owe a great debt to him, that he was willing to take that risk and use his platform to say, I don't think this is what our country should be about.
And yet race did not get in the way when it came to you challenging for a Grammy. And you got, no, I mean, hell, you've got 9 Grammys. But what is so fascinating is that one year, in 1983, you won both the classical and the jazz Grammy, and nobody of any race has ever done that before.
You know, race, I told you, race is a certain type of thing that is a construct. So you use it when you have to use it, when it's necessary to use it. And it's also not defined. It's not white versus black, because you don't know what black is. You don't really know what white is. When it comes to playing music and studying it and learning it, it's not going to help you. Because you are something is not going to, because you have some type of ethnic origin or you have some type of, my father used to always say, he's a fantastic teacher. He would say, what you are is never as important as who you are. And that's the truth of dealing with people. I can't look at a person and know about them by how they look. And with music, all of the great masters, regardless of idiom, have taught us that. So if you're in the Western tradition and you can start with Bach. I mean, what is his race? Okay, call it what you want, but that music is what it is.
So does it leave you an optimist?
The blues part of our music is optimistic. And it's an optimism that's not naive. Because the blues identifies problems and it has a groove that goes on underneath it. And at the end of almost every blues, there's an optimistic solution. Like the famous blues says, I went down to the railroad, put my head on the track. Then they repeat it again. I went down to the railroad and put my head on the track. When the train came along, I snatched my fool head back. That's what they say. So, hey, it was so bad I wanted to kill myself. When it came that time, no, man, I'm staying out here.